Hey, what's up, Logos Psychology students? It is Wednesday, June 10th, 2020. It's day 3 of term 6. We're about halfway through the first week of term 6. It's day 53 overall of our e-learning experience, but we are, rolling off to a rolling start with our first week of term 6. Happy to see new students acclimating to this class, and students who have been in this class before. You guys know the drill. Let's keep it rolling for term 6, and we're almost, like I said, through the first week. Like I said before, you guys know what to do. Seems like the new students have caught on quick, and existing students, you all know, we always start off with Blackbaud. Take a look at the class page for our Blackbaud. This is what it should look like when you click on the link for the class page. It'll take you to our bulletin board. And I just want to point out under the e-learning instructions, the first note there in red, it's Wednesday, so that means tomorrow, Thursday, we have our first Zoom meeting of the term. It's an important one, the first one, right? We want to get off to a good start and make sure that everybody's on the same page. So it's an early one. Make sure you set your alarm clock. Don't oversleep. You want to get in on that Zoom meeting at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And so look out today. Later today, I'll be posting a link right here on the bulletin board for that Zoom meeting. I'll also be a link under assignments, and I'll also be emailing and using the Blackbaud messaging system to send out the invite to that Zoom meeting. So there'll be plenty of ways for you to access it. No excuse for not joining that Zoom meeting at 9 a.m. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to talk. You just want to log in so that, again, we can do that real life interfacing, but also it's a way to earn some participation points for the class, and so that'll help your grade. So Zoom meeting tomorrow, 9 a.m. As for today, let's see what's on the agenda. Let's take a look at our topic for today. We go back under topics. We started this chapter on Monday on adulthood and aging, right? This is developmental psychology, how people change cognitively, emotionally, and behaviorally through the course of their life. And as we go through this chapter, we get closer and closer to the end of life. And there are particular issues that people have to deal with as we age, as we get closer and closer towards the end. But the reading for today is right there, chapter 12, page 355 to 360. If we click on that, we'll download the reading. This is the page we ended on Monday or Tuesday, the last reading. You did those pause for thought questions, but if we scroll down to the bottom here, there's another set of pause for thought questions, just 3 of them, on page 360. And it's talking about aging and, particularly, some issues, some problems that people might have during aging, particularly with cognitive abilities, right? There's a lot of stereotypes surrounding this, right? And that's why I recommend you read the this section, the critical thinking section, thinking critically about psychology, stereotypes of the elderly. There's a picture here of John Glenn, right? Who's that old man, John Glenn? That's John Glenn. He's an astronaut. He's the oldest man to ever go into outer space, right? They also show Ronald Reagan, who is the oldest person to ever serve as president. So the point is, right, the idea, the stereotype that decline, cognitive mental decline is inevitable. Everyone's going to just, become a dithering, slobbering idiot when they're old. This is not true, right? And it's a stereotype that's harmful to people of that age, right? We in our society, we value youth, and so the older you are, the less valuable society sees you as. And the point is that it shouldn't be that way, right? Because obviously, senior citizens have a lot to offer, and decline is not inevitable. Now, again, we all slow down as we age, right? But that doesn't mean that we can't still be contributing members of society, and it doesn't mean that there's not something to gain in age, wisdom, right? These older people are some of the wisest and most experienced people in our society, and that's a very valuable thing. And so You know, again, it's a societal thing that we don't value our elders as much as we should, right? And that's what this is about. It's getting to the facts, right? Trying to get out of these stereotypes and get to facts. It shows some animals because it shows that, again, every species has a set biological clock, right? Every species has a set lifespan, right? If you were a dragonfly, your lifespan's, you know, a few weeks or months, right? And then you're born, you grow to a full-grown dragonfly, and then you're an old dragonfly, and then you die. If you're a tortoise, you're born, you grow up into an adult tortoise, and then you stay an adult tortoise for 100 years. They live to be 200. But that's just their species. And in humans, you know, even if we could eliminate all disease, we'd still, you know, our lifespan is not much more than 100 years, right? And that's why the oldest humans, that's about how long they live, right? That's a long time, right? And that's a full life. And so we shouldn't be sad that, you know, I mean, death is a sad thing, but I mean, if you get to live to be in your 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, that's a great thing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, hard at the end. It can be, and it will be in some ways, but it doesn't mean that, you know, your life can't be worthwhile. And again, there's President Reagan, former President Reagan, the oldest person ever served as president. Donald Trump is the second oldest. So that's the pause for thought questions for this reading, which, as mentioned before, you can access those under the assignments tab. Let's see, if you are on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, you'll see them there under the assignments tab. If you're on the Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, they'll appear on Thursday, right? But there it is, chapter 12, page 355 to 360. And then we have our question of the day. And let's take a look at that question of the day. If we minimize this, let's see, that's not what I wanted to see. Question of the day. Question of the day. What do you think is something we can do to help prevent mental decline in our later years? Because again, the point is, some people have mental decline in their later years, some people don't. Is there something behaviorally that the people who don't suffer as great of mental decline do? And I've embedded some videos. They're short videos, but they deal with this issue, and this has been a much studied issue. As people are living longer and longer, this is becoming a more and more pertinent issue. And there's at least a couple videos in this playlist. And again, all the videos are very short, but there's at least a couple videos, and I want to share just a little bit of one with you, that deal with this study called the Nun Study.
For more than 2 decades, about 700 sisters from the United States provinces and the School Sisters of Notre Dame, or SSND, have contributed their bodies and brains to science.
So these are nuns.
The Nun Study.
Nuns who are educators, right? They're involved in education, and they live, you know, a communal lifestyle in a convent. But they've all volunteered to donate their brains to science, right, when they die, and so they can be studied, because you can't really tell if someone had Alzheimer's or dementia until they die, and you can look at their brain, and there's physical indicators of that. But what they found is that these nuns, because of their lifestyle, because they keep their brains and their bodies active all the time, and because they have this community, right, they're not socially isolated, they have much lower rates of dementia and Alzheimer's and problems like that, and they live longer than the average person, right? And so what does this mean, right? This is a pretty interesting study, and the results suggest that, you know, having social interactions, keeping your mind and your body active can prevent mental decline. So if you know anybody who is, you know, an elder, if you have any grandparents or other older relatives, you should share this with them, right? And you should share yourself with them, because again, social isolation is a big problem, as we'll learn later in the chapter. But go ahead and watch these videos, answer the question of the day, do the reading, answer those 3 pause for thought questions. And as always, if you have any concerns or questions for me, please contact me to let me know. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow, 9 a.m. in the Zoom meeting. Peace.